With how inconsistent the amazing world of Gumball can be, the exact layout of Elmore is hard to pin down on a map, at least accurately, which is exactly what we're going to be solving today, going location by location, along with also breaking down the history behind each place, starting off with the Waterson's house. Now, it's no secret that there's an actual house in real life that served as the inspiration for the Blue family house. It's located at 1026 York Street, Vallejo, California. In fact, the entirety of Elmore takes its blueprint from the city in Vallejo. Doesn't it already remind you of Elmore? Gumball's house is just a bit south of the town center, and as we know, right next to the Robinson family. Up the same street, we have Gary Hedges, the elderly neighbor next to the main characters. Now, there's a few problems with this house, mainly that the layout doesn't make any sense. Like, how does that roof even make sense when the walls inside are perfectly square? But more importantly, this house has gone through every disaster imaginable. It's been possessed by spirits, blown up multiple times, and swallowed by the void. But that's not even the start of it. The house got a brief redesign made of crystals in the Saint, and has even changed its location. Like when it was taken away when the Watersons ran out of money, and when a couple construction workers literally just took it away by accident. But the next location we're going to be looking at is Elmore Junior High, which is to the north of the Watersons' house. Now, Elmore Junior High also has a real-life inspiration, which is called the Lincoln High School in San Francisco. It takes the Watersons varying times to get to school, but if Vallejo says anything, it'll take them about 20 minutes to get there. If you know the public schools in the US, you know it's surprising that Elmore Junior High has its own cheerleading squad, marching band, indoor swimming pool, and track and field stadium. No wonder they ran out of funds. It's attended by students of all shapes, colors, and sizes. Most of them attend Miss Simeon's class, where all of the teaching happens for the Waterson brothers. Anais, of course, is a grade above them. But now, let's move on to where all of the characters go after all of the traumatic moments in the show. Towards the left of the school, we have the Elmore General Hospital, giving only the finest care for the residents of Elmore. Whether you're a half-eaten toast or a cut-up banana, this place promises to turn all those frowns into smiles. But what happens here, to put it lightly, is quite the opposite. The staff here include a bunch of bandages and Dr. Butt. He first appears in The Goons, and Gumball mistook him for Richard's behind. I don't blame him. To top it all off, they clearly don't have enough people around to keep an eye on what's actually going on inside the hospital. Gumball and Darwin managed to conduct a whole operation on Alan in the episode The Traitor. All the hospital got to save Alan was one bandage guy looking in and then completely disappearing. This isn't even a one-time thing. Turns out, in the world of Elmore, if you come to the hospital for a problem, you're likely gonna leave with even more problems. It's just better not to come at all. But now, let's go to the more finer things that Elmore has to offer. Behind the fantastic hospital, we have all kinds of things that makes living fun. First, when it comes to food options in Elmore, there are many branches of Joyful Burger, and Larry works in every single one of them. There's also Lazy Larry, another restaurant with only one known location. Bobbert's store, where Bobberts are manufactured, is right behind Lazy Larry. It made a one-time appearance in the episode The Upgrade, but I don't know if I'd call it a store because the walls are literally white and there are no floors or ceilings in sight, and even Gumball and Darwin have a hard time navigating the place. Next to Bobbert's factory, we have Elmore Shopping for all your daily needs, or where Nicole realizes just how little she's paid.
Why can't we just have one treat?
Because it's the end of the month and I work a dead-end job where I get paid peanuts. That's not a figure of speech, by the way.
Then why are we even here?
This one is the Little Plaza location, and there's another one inside the Elmore Mall. It's your classic general store, at least when the Watersons are not there. The Plaza location is also shared by other stores, especially a sports center for the health nuts, and Burger Burg right next to it to keep it in business. But back to Elmore Shopping, its major appearance was in the episode The Limit. Anais even laid out all of the marketing strategies in the store, but even her smarts couldn't save them from pushing Nicole too far, and what followed can only be called doomsday. It ended with the entire store taking a big hit. Luckily, the reset between episodes makes the store stand even after this. But now let's move on to the coolest place in all of Elmore, Elmore Mall. This is where all the residents of Elmore shop until they drop. From romantic dates to full-blown arch nemesis wars, this place has seen it all. But before we get there, we need to park. And for that, the mall is a huge parking garage, complete with multiple levels. But even that doesn't guarantee that the Watersons won't get into trouble. Anyways, inside the mall has a grand exterior, and like the garage, has multiple floors. The diners, where Gumball and Penny can be spotted having one of their cute dates. But there's also a branch of the Joyful Burger. For all general purposes, there's another branch of Elmore Shopping, along with a Ripley 2000 and Laser Video for all of the Watersons' antics. There's even an arcade and a cinema to fuel them even more. And it's all run by poor Larry, who has to put up with all of it. There's a tattoo parlor, a salon, and a store for everything you can think of, from flowers to hardware. It's also where Sussy's family business, Sussy's Shoes, can be found. This mall has had a flash mob and has even witnessed Gumball naked, but most importantly, it was the site where Gumball and Rob had their biggest fight before the events of the Inquisition. The disaster was the first part of this saga, and it starts with Rob getting an all-powerful remote. It literally could make him time travel. And of course, he wasn't gonna let this opportunity go. Naturally, he decided to mess with his arch nemesis, Gumball and his family. Soon enough, Rob finally revealed himself and the remote, and it led to a legendary fight, and the showrunners really decided to leave season 4 with Gumball pressing the rewind button. But in the next season, in the episode The Rerun, Gumball gets a second chance, and through his lovable nature, he convinces Rob to destroy the remote. And this is after his parents turned into babies, and his sister disappeared from existence at one point. But now we're moving on to where all of the work takes place, Elmore businesses. The other side of town, opposite to the Elmore Mall, is where almost everyone in Elmore works. There are 3 main businesses in Elmore: the Rainbow Factory, Chanex Inc., and Fitzgerald Co. That's not counting the coalition of really useful people company that Darwin wanted. The Rainbow Factory is where Nicole works, and it provides what little money the family has. It's owned by Mr. Yoshida, who is the husband of Yuki. Because of their rivalry, Yuki doesn't even let Nicole work in peace, and often just comes by to get in her face. Maybe that's the reason why Nicole doesn't ever get a promotion, even after working for all these years at the complaints department. Apart from Nicole, Karen, who is the fiance of Larry, and Mr. Cooper, who is the father of Claire, also works here. A crumpled up paper character, who is apparently called the newspaper employee, can also be seen carrying stacks of paper twice his height. Contrary to popular belief, until season 6, working at the Rainbow Factory was anything but sunshine and rainbows. In fact, Nicole finds it easier to repaint her face just to hide her tiredness. And during the episode The Factory, Gumball and Darwin visit their mother's workplace on the same day that the fate of the factory was being decided, and all the shareholders cared about was money and productivity. But where the Waterson brothers go, trouble follows, and this day was no different. The factory goes into full panic mode and starts filling up with toxic gas, but this seemed to be exactly what the shareholders needed to have. Some sense knocked into them. Gumball and Darwin became heroes for the workers of the Rainbow Factory, as color came back to everyone in the building. But one place that never got color was Charnax Inc. It's named after Mr. Charnax, who is an alter ego of Paperball, and the former owner of the company. What the company actually does, no one knows. But Rocky says that it's pure evil, as they cut down rainforest, contributed to pollution, invented boy bands, and according to Gumball, invented cheese puffs. In the episode The Founder, it reveals that the company is also a cable service provider. The building itself is several stories high, and people enter or exit through sliding glass doors, with the elevators being big enough to hold the Watersons' car. In The Boss, the building's true personality came out. In addition to the conference room and waiting room, there is a compartment filled with so much paperwork that it's deep enough to cause a paper avalanche that can crush anyone who dares to pass by. The filing cabinets have life, and they've actually tried to crush Gumball, Darwin, and Rocky. The office of the owner is located at the highest level of the building, on the 99th floor. According to The Boss, Gumball, Darwin, and Rocky were the first people to ever make it there.
You were the first people to ever make it to this office. Congratulations.
Getting a job here isn't easy, as according to Paperball, the company wants employees who are young, fresh, and gullible. Immediately after they're accepted, the employee must sign a legal contract, where they sign away their hopes and dreams. This signing is the final act of complete manipulation and physical possession by Mr. Chanex, making the employees soullessly work like puppets at the company. After the contract is signed, the employee must exhale into a jar, so that the company can forever keep the possession of the employee's spirit. It's revealed that an employee's breath in a jar does not actually give any spirits of their essence to Mr. Chanex. According to the soulless office worker, the occupation mostly lasts for a full lifetime, to the point where the employees miss their family moments and even their own retirement. But there's a good side of Chanex, where there are people who actually work more normally. The only downside is they don't know what they actually work as. Despite all of this, Gumball and Darwin had short-lived jobs in this place, with Richard even being mistaken as the long-lost CEO and the founder. His shenanigans went so badly that in the episode, the entire building exploded by the end of it. And last but not least, for the industrial side of Elmore, we have Fitzgerald Co. Limited. This company is a construction company ran and owned by Patrick Fitzgerald, Penny's father. And it's safe to say that most of the construction in Elmore is taken care of by Patrick, as he did pitch in $1 million deal with Chanex Inc. in The Apprentice, showing that he can take on that kind of work. The most interesting part of the company is that there are 3 men who work for it: Hank, George, and Steve, who are so clumsy that they are better as destroyers than construction workers. If there's anything worse than their clumsiness, it's their manners. But Patrick somehow stays in business, even when Hank's colorblindness has literally caused them to relocate the Waterson's family home. But now, all of these people need to be paid, and that's where we come to the Central Bank of Elmore. This bank actually has an address that's mentioned in the show, and it's located at 123 Swarks Avenue, as revealed in The Heist. The real-life building is located in Washington, D.C. The Watersons have both stopped robberies as well as committed them. While Nicole stopped a heist in The Fury, Richard went on the opposite end of the spectrum in The Heist. The episode starts kinda innocent, with Richard getting stuck in a motorcycle helmet, but life must go on, and Richard somehow manages to drive a car to the Bank of Elmore. And there's no protocol for entering a high-security bank with a cool helmet, and Richard manages to literally walk out with brown bags filled with cash, and Larry gets arrested for all his trouble. After literally locking the town down, Richard comes to realize that he's stolen $2 million, and now they have to return it, Waterson style. In the end, Elmore's economy got cooked, but at least nobody was arrested. We're only halfway through our tour, and there's still a lot more interesting locations in town, with the Void literally in the middle of town, and the Forest of Doom still on the list. But before we get there, we need to move on to where people go when there's a certain family who keeps destroying the whole town: the City Hall. Every town needs one, and this City Hall is modeled after the Town Hall of Worthington in West Sussex, England. In the safety, there's a motto printed above the entrance reading Pro Salute Hominum, which in Latin means for the safety of all. Even though people tried coming here to complain to the mayor about the Watersons, it didn't stop them even converting it into their own lair, like dictator Darwin did. The hall is famously featured in 2 episodes. First is in The Signature, where the family comes here to obtain a marriage license for the grandparents, so that Frankie wouldn't steal the family house. And the most important of all, it was featured in The Nuisance. It literally starts with an invitation for the family to the City Hall for a surprise. And boy, were they in for one. And that's what it took for the family to realize how much crime they've been committing. The family then tried to compensate for all of the damage by being unnaturally nice to everyone. But of course, it was bound to end in disaster. And this is the point where the mayor decided to reveal his evil plan.
Whereas I wanted you out because you were bringing the price of the neighborhood down. That was a problem, you see, when I decided to sell the land to developers. But look at you now. You've become our new poster family.
Maybe the City Hall was made to be an evil lair, but the good Watersons stepped in, became their usual destroying selves, and restored peace. Now we can move on from all things business and move to the place that started it all, Elmore Local Park. which is right behind City Hall. This park is every suburban mom's dream, made up of open fields, ponds, a playground, a skate park, and long walking paths. According to the credits, in real life it's Hyde Park, located in London, and Hampstead Heath was also used on occasion. This was the setting for the dumb race in the episode The Goons, which was really just sibling rivalry at its peak. For once, Anais is jealous of the games that her brothers play and decides to learn how to be dumb. Once Anais learns, she starts replicating Gumball in all of their games, and he obviously didn't take it too well. And so the dumb race was born. It ended with most of them in the hospital, but at least Gumball and Anais made up. But that's the only competition that happened. Marvin and Gumball had their big showdown over their old family feud in the episode The Watch. But there's a way more important event that happened in the park. In the episode The Choices, an overstimulated Nicole wonders how things would have gone if she made different choices in the past. And that's where we get to this cute moment.
So, people will like me?
But lots of people already like you.
Really? Like who?
This singular moment was very important for Nicole, as this is what led to her breaking out of the cage that her parents put her in, and she finally took control of her life. And together, they built the family that we've all come to love. But Elmore is more weird than that, and we're heading next to where some people keep their dead relatives, the Elmore Museum. You would think that a museum has no place in a show like Gumball, unless they wanted to bore kids to death. But this little museum has a little secret, and for that, we need to go to the episode The Apology. It starts with Miss Simeon having a wardrobe malfunction, and the Waterson brothers end up in the principal's office for trying to tell her. But Miss Simeon takes it so personally that she takes it upon herself to prove that the brothers were bad kids. But Gumball and Darwin, through literal stupidity, managed to wiggle themselves out of any trap she laid for them. And this is where Miss Simeon decides to go to the only place where she could get advice, Elmore Museum. Apparently, Miss Simeon's dad is literally fossilized and kept on display for everyone to see, and she doesn't have a problem with it. In fact, she sings right in front of him in the compilation. Apart from this, a dinosaur skeleton is seen hanging up in the slip. In real life, it's the Natural History Museum located in London. Now, let's go to a location where an epic showdown took place, Richwood High, which is behind the museum. This school is special because all of its students are entirely humans, with Sarah being the only exception. Another strange aspect is that the town seems to be drawn, unlike the other locations in the show, which use real-life backgrounds. This applies not just to the buildings, but all places visible while in it, including the sky. The most important place in here is the stadium, and it made its first appearance in the sweaters. The episode starts with finding out that Elmore Junior High has a hardcore reputation in other schools, including Richwood. In fact, two students, Carlton and Troy, came with an interesting offer.
Absolutely nothing, dude.
Sounds to me like you want to fight, Dweebazoid.
Okay, I don't know what kind of movie you're living in, but I don't want to be in it.
The brothers are so unimpressed that they literally just walk away. But Richwood doesn't back off that easily, not even the teachers. Finally, it reaches its peak when Carlton threatens to have his father demolish Elmore Junior High to build a golf course if Gumball does not show up for the fight. But the fight wasn't something the brothers had in mind. In the end, even though they lost miserably, they managed to gain respect of the students for the courage to come back to the court no matter what. But now it's time for us to go beyond the town to Anais's favorite place, Daisyland. This place was one of the most heartbreaking closures of any location in the amazing world of Gumball. It happens in one of the first episodes of the new show called The Traffic. It starts with a family emergency meeting where Nicole reveals that the park has a class action lawsuit against it and that they are going immediately to the park. And on the car ride there, Anais is actually kind enough to walk us through the map of Daisyland. There's only one small problem. Nicole had asked to get the car fixed, and let's just say that Richard did it in a way only he can do. Of course, this led to more problems, and finally, they got stuck on the side of the road. And no one was willing to help them back into traffic, with the brothers making even more of a mess. So Nicole tried to fix everything, only to be stopped by Donut Cop. Anais accepted that she wouldn't get to see her favorite park anymore, and that was the fuel that the Waterson family needed to go full Super Saiyan mode. After all of that, Anais got to go on rides of her own and had a heartfelt moment of a lifetime. Next, we head up north for the most depressing place in Elmore, Elmore Cemetery. This is where Carrie lives, in a haunted house next to the cemetery. The entire setting first appeared in the Halloween, where Carrie invited the brothers for a Halloween party, and they decided to go through the cemetery. But Anais was obviously too young, and so Gumball did what any good brother would do.
You're just gonna have to hang out here.
Well, at least it can't get any worse.
Once that was taken care of, Carrie invited them in and told them that they had to drink a potion in order to see the others who came to attend the party. The boys drink it anyway, and that's when the other residents at the cemetery came into the light. Black magic is right at home at this place, as when the brothers drank the whole bottle, they actually turned into ghosts. Luckily, after they had their fun, they were able to get back into their bodies before they became a part of the underworld at the cemetery. Next on our list is the Forest of Doom, and it's fittingly right next to the underworld. The Forest of Doom is located in what appears to be a large park in Elmore. When viewed from far above in the trees, it looks exactly like a human skull. It's also known to be very dark, even when it's sunny outside, probably since the trees are so tall and thick that they block the sunlight. The forest is bigger than it looks from the outside, with a cliff in the middle of it, and with all of this, it's no surprise that it's also easy to get lost in. It's home to a variety of creepy plants and animals. There are literally trees with snarling faces, monstrous squirrels, horrible chicken deer hybrids, and possibly a lot more than Gumball and Darwin were fortunate enough to avoid. Though their size varies, they almost all seem to be aggressive, but some are intelligent enough to be able to talk. We first hear this lore in The Picnic, and it sounds like a scary story parents tell misbehaving kids. With that fatal mistake, now they're on their own to find the picnic area, and of course, they went through the forest. This is where Gumball and Darwin really understand what they got themselves into. After running around a bit, Darwin manages to calm down the predators to save Gumball, and somehow makes it back to the picnic area in one piece. The only family that doesn't seem scared to death about the place is the Fitzgeralds. Penny finds herself here more times than I can count, but she also turns into a dragon, so that probably helps things. Beyond this, you'll find the Elmore Zoo, where Larry once created a mutant, and the Elmore River. Towards the right of the river are the dry terrain we see in the Origins, when Darwin crosses them to get to Elmore, closely followed by the ocean. The only other place of interest is the Junkyard, which is south of the town. The Elmore Junkyard is where everyone throws their waste away and just forgets about it. It also has an incinerator in the middle for the waste to be slowly burned, but there's so much waste that it seems that the incinerator will never finish its job. For a junkyard, this place has a lot going on. For one, Tina Rex and her father live here, while Richard considers it the best place to get clothes.
Here we are, the greatest department store in the world, where everything is free!
It made some important moments, like when the Waterson kids came to get Daisy the donkey from Tina in the quest, but their quest wasn't quite successful, mostly because they got distracted. And of course, eventually they woke Tina up, and boy, she was mad. But in the end, after seeing how much Tina loved Daisy, Anais decided to leave her toy with the T-Rex. The junkyard makes another appearance in the helmet, where the Waterson children come to destroy the all-powerful helmet. Now, there's just one more stop at the end of our tour. Right in the middle of this slightly unhinged town is something straight out of an existential crisis, the void. Over the course of the world's history, whenever a person or an object is considered a mistake, it'll be discarded from reality and end up in the void. Sometimes when a person is sent to the void, they will be frozen in time like a paused video, but they can be broken out of it if someone touches them. The void has static TV as its background, and the laws of physics are warped with outer space gravity. The mistakes sent to the void are almost always floating all around it, unless they're standing on a platform. What's worse is that they can sometimes be seen glitching or phasing in and out of reality. Once a mistake is sent to the void, all evidence that it ever existed is removed from the real world. Everyone's memory of that mistake is erased. The only way to save the memory is if someone wears a tinfoil hat, but otherwise, the mistake's image will vanish from any photos, and the world will create a fold on itself, concealing all the evidence. But all hope isn't lost, because it's possible for someone to force the fold where someone was banished and pull it wide open to form a portal between the void and the world. And that's exactly what happens in the episode The Void. It starts with the disappearance of a classmate, and once Gumball figures out that it's Molly who disappeared, he's shocked to find out that no one remembers her.
You're telling me that in a class full of her friends who went to school with her your whole life, not one of you remembers Molly?
So they team up with Mr. Small to find out what happened to Molly. And that's where they come across this other dimension. Apparently, the world of Elmore thinks that shorts, laser discs, and mullets are all mistakes. Even Rob can be spotted as the brothers try to find Molly. Luckily, everyone escapes in one piece, but the same can't be said for Rob, because if the exit is through a vulnerable position, your existence will become disfigured and glitched. The only other thing that can open this portal is the universal remote with the AV button. And the same button can be used to change the quote-unquote channel of the void. But all of this means that the void essentially runs through all of Elmore, like a hell that's waiting for everyone to become irrelevant. But what places do you think I missed? Comment them down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos like this one. And while you're here, click the video on screen. I'm sure you'll love it.